Hmm. Why are we not going? We have no video. Supposed to start. Hi. Now we have video.
Yes.
I'm Lori Hankins with Remax Trinity, and I'm technologically challenged and don't mind admitting it. And here I am here, not 6 feet apart, but been at several things with Sally recently, so I think we're okay. But I'm here with Sally Daniels. She is the director of Future Hope and Healing, and we had tried to do a Zoom call before to learn a little bit about Future Hope and Healing, and we had nothing but constant interruptions and kept losing the sound. So we are going to try to do this in person today. So thank you, Sally, for being here.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Let me
Thanks for
stop by.
inviting me.
Well, first thing I want to do, and I swear, one day I'm going to learn how to do these meetings and look like I'm technologically a genius. uh, what is Future Hope and Healing?
Future Hope and Healing Center was created to help women who have left domestic violence. We will help men too. We just have never had a man call us. Our goal is that at the end of the day, nobody returned to an unsafe home because they could not meet their family's faith. And we do things like, do you need diapers at the end of the day? Do you have a flat tire? You need $10 to get to work tomorrow until payday. You found a new safe place to go, but you don't have the deposit money. So we can do the deposit. If somebody has a plan, a solid plan in place, we can use the hotel for 3 or 4 nights until she can get to someplace safe. We offer counseling. All of our services are free. We have our resale store, and so our clients go into the store and shop for free. We do drives sometimes and collect toiletries, cleaning items, personal hygiene, all those things, and so we hand those out to.
Well, and I know that a lot of people don't like to think we have a lot of domestic violence in our community. They like to think this happens other places and happens to other people. But what kind of domestic violence issues do we have here in Azle, Parker County, Tarrant County area?
I can tell you that in the last 2 weeks, I've put 3 people at the motel that were victims of domestic violence. A safe place.
That's unfortunately very sad.
It is.
I know recently my family, you know this,
Yes.
someone in our family, we lost them to domestic violence. And this was something that I always just kind of broke my heart. You know, my heart goes out. I don't understand it. I've never been through it, but my heart goes out to the people who've been through it. And then a few weeks ago, we experienced it personally. So more than ever, what Future Hope and Healing does is very important to me. Very important ministry. It's not just something she does for fun. This is a ministry. She's got a heart for this. What kind of advice would you give to someone who's in a domestic violence situation? Because I know that when they leave, it's generally the most dangerous time for them.
It is in the state of Texas, and this statistic runs pretty close to 40% every single year. 40% of the people who are murdered have either left the relationship or they had a solid plan in place to leave. And so it's the most dangerous time in a relationship when you're trying to leave. Safety, having a safety plan, and sometimes we think we're safe, and just like your cousin, continued to go on, did everything right, left, had police involved, but that doesn't stop anybody. It's trying to find a safe place, and I think that's the reason women don't leave. People don't leave because there's no safe place to go. There's no place to hide, and if there's no place to hide, you go to mom's house or you go to a friend's house or you couch hop, you are putting all of those families in danger where you
Yeah, and I mean, it's got to be one of the most alone feelings,
It is.
not
People,
knowing where to go and not
right,
wanting to put your family at risk.
right. And people, I had a lady in here today. She left yesterday. She's in here today, and she just kept apologizing and saying, "I'm so sorry I have to be here." And I kept telling her it's not your fault. And she said, "But I feel like it is." And I said, "No, that was his behavior. That was not your behavior. You can't be responsible." But abusers will continually say, "This is your fault. If you had not, or if you had, whatever the situation is, planting, gaslighting, just planting all those crazy ideas in somebody's head to make them think that they're crazy and that they really don't know what they're doing and that reality is really not real."
And it's sad that it happens so much more than you even realize. It
Yes.
could be happening to someone in your family and you're not even aware of it. So, what are some signs you can look for as far as just maybe some warning signs if you've got friends or family members that you suspect there could be an issue?
You're going to see that the victim is always defending the abuser. And a lot of abusers are charming and very charismatic in public. And so when a victim says, "No, he's beating me," nobody believes, or they find it very hard to believe that this very nice person, he's a deacon at the church, or he's the pastor at the church, or he's a police officer. And I'm not saying all those people are. I'm saying that it's so hard to believe when a victim steps up and says, "Yes, my husband has been hurting me, and here are the bruises, here are the pictures." And so if we can look for just those little subtle signs. And abuse doesn't happen, it starts emotional most of the time, and it's not sudden. When you start dating somebody, it's kind of like they have a book that says, "Do this first, do this second." There's almost always isolation from family and friends. There's almost always suggestions that somebody doesn't like me. Um, your dad doesn't like me. Your mom doesn't like me. Your best friend tried to have sex with me. Um, Things to alienate that victim from their support system. Um, if there's no support system, there's nobody to go to, there's nobody to believe. And a lot of times there's a lot of, there'll be blackmailing. I know people who there's drugs in the car, they get stopped, and he will say, "There's no money in the family if I'm not working, so you're gonna have to take the blame for this. Say I didn't know." And they'll do that and go to jail, and they'll carry around that felony, misdemeanor, whatever it is, because they've been told they have to do that. They've been told it's for the family. This is
Hmm.
for everybody.
Well, I know you've got supporters. I know different fundraisers and things, but you also have a resale store you run that
We do.
where it helps raise funds for putting these women in the motel and
Yes.
helping them with the things that they need. Um, but tell us a little bit about it.
Hope's Bazaar is it's a resale store. Everything that comes in is a donation. We don't pay for anything. All of the profits go back into Future Hope and Healing Center to put people at the motel, pay deposits for a new safe place. Maybe um, I've paid car insurance so somebody can get their tags and go back to work. Whatever it is that is keeping her from being successful and taking care of her family's needs. The public comes in and they shop. Clients come in and they shop for free. Anything that they need. The lady that came in today left with absolutely nothing and walked out of here with everything that she needed for the next, at least enough toiletries and those kinds of things for the next week or so, and a wardrobe that will at least get her to be able to job hunt, have some clean clothes to put on. And so that's really the biggest purpose of Hope's Bazaar, is that clients have a place to go and get what their needs are, and then the community comes in, and it's a great way for the community to support us.
Well, I know I've watched you since before you started opening this, and the community came together just in donations to help you get Hope's Bazaar set up,
Yes.
which was great. I loved seeing that.
Yes.
But always monetary donations are appreciated because
Always.
it's great to have the resale store, but like she said, she's got motel expenses and gas and food and different things for women who come to her needing help. Um, I guess really, is there anything else you want to tell us? Any stories that you think would help drive this home? Something that you want people to know about you, Hope's Bazaar, or Future Hope and Healing?
And one of the things somebody told me one day is, I don't know what your experience is or your expertise. So I've been in the field for 24 years. I have a master's degree in counseling. I also have a supervisor's accreditation after my license, my counseling degree, so I can supervise interns. So I have experience. It is my passion. I know people that say there is no way I could do that, and it's the same way. I can't do um, suicide hotline. That just drains me. This does not drain me. It is just my God-given gift that I can listen to story after story after story and never show any. Um, I don't flinch. I don't anything so that clients can feel safe to continue telling me their story and begin that road to healing. It is very important to me also that our community understands. The biggest question I get is, why doesn't she leave? And it's usually, why doesn't she just leave? um, very sarcastically. And she doesn't leave because it's not safe. She doesn't leave because she has no safe place to go. And my response is always back, what are you doing to help keep her safe when she leaves? How are you going to keep her, let her have her kids? Because a lot of times she doesn't have any money. The lady today does not have her children. That will probably end by the end of the week. But when she left, he didn't let her take the children, and she ran, um, left without children. Um, that happens a lot, and it's our job, I believe. You'll see some campaigns that some of the other agencies do that is, we believe, and I always believe until I have reason to not believe. And so believe. It doesn't matter what horrible, crazy story you hear. Um, I've heard worse, and it probably is true. And just believe and offer support. Ask, hey, can I make that phone call for you? Do we need to call the police? What can I do to help you? Can I pay for a room at the hotel to keep you safe tonight? Can I give you some food? When we put somebody at the hotel, they're at the hotel, but now they need food. So Walmart cards go with that. So we've got the cost of the room, we've got the cost of the Walmart card, and if you leave with absolutely nothing, there are some things we don't have here. So then we're having to cover those expenses too. As a community, if we can just pull together and if we can believe and if we can understand, yes, domestic violence happens in our neighborhoods, it happens in our businesses, it happens in our schools, it happens in our public parks. And I have clients who have had things in Azle happen in all those areas I've just talked about.
And we like to think it doesn't happen here, but it does.
We do, and it does. And our police chief can confirm that.
Yes, and he, I think, would agree with you and me, we've discussed this before, when we all wish you did not have a job.
That's exactly right. I would love to not have a job.
We wish we could get rid of all domestic abuse and that she'd have to go look for a new job. But
That's right.
Unfortunately,
I might retire if I could do that.
well, and during these times, I know a lot of people I've talked to with quarantine and things going on have seen the stress levels go up.
Yes.
I read the other day that domestic abuse had gone up 17.3%.
Yes.
I think it said nationwide.
Yes.
I'm sure some areas that's a lot higher than other areas. But
I think that's probably the exact same number that Dallas is saying, or almost exactly. It was 17 point something percent more calls. And I've never had 3 families at the same time that I've had to put them up.
That's just, it's heartbreaking that, I mean, this has been a rough time for everybody, but
Yes.
to think of kids and wives and husbands, I mean, that's
Right.
something a lot of people don't talk about, but men face domestic violence as well.
Right.
It just seems to be not discussed quite as much.
That's true. The numbers in Texas are 1 in 4 Texas women and 1 in 8 Texas men will be abused at some point in their adult
Oh my
life by a
gosh.
partner.
That's terrible.
Yes, it
I
is.
mean, Yeah, I wish I could help you find a way out of a job.
I wish I had somebody who would raise the funds so that we could have an emergency shelter and we don't have to rely on a motel.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Yes.
Well, tell us the address for Hope's Bazaar. So if people want to stop in and either make a donation or, you know, you may want to add your number too in case they have clothes or things that you
Okay.
don't have a space for. But somebody may want to bring in physical donation or cash donation or come in and shop. Any of those would help.
Right. Okay. The address for Hope's Bazaar is 141 West Main. We are between Reds and Java Express. Most people know them, and we're fairly new on Main Street. So I try to give a location. There's a great big huge purple sign out front that says Hope's Bazaar. And when you walk in, there are offices too. So we have some insurance agents. Half of the building is office space and half the building is retail. Um, you can find us on Facebook, Future Hope and Healing Center, or Hope's Bazaar. Either one are on Facebook. We have a website, futurehopeandhealingcenter.org. Our website, and we take all donations. You can come in. A lady actually comes in about once every 3 months, and she just gives me cash and says, "This is my tithe." And so about once every 3 months, for some reason, we get her tithe. So we actually have a button on our cash register at Hope's Bazaar that is donation, and so a lot of people just round up their cash and give the rest of it.
Well, I love what you do for the community. I love your giving heart. I love that, like you were saying, there's just some jobs some people can't do. I could not do what you're doing. There's
Right.
no way. Um, I don't think I could do the suicide hotline either. I think my therapy bill would get way too high doing either job. But I appreciate the people who can do it. I appreciate what you do, your heart for these women and children in these situations, and I'm happy to support any way I can. So uh, appreciate you joining us today and taking a little bit of time out of your day to tell us about Future Hope and Healing and Hope's Bazaar.
Thank you, and we appreciate you. You're a
So,
huge supporter of ours, and
hey,
we
she's
always.
great. So
Lori's great for the community too.
hey, and oh, and by the way, when she said Main Street, for those of you watching this that aren't here, it's in Azle,
Oh,
Texas.
Hazel.
So
Come to
it's not
Hazel.
just any Main Street. Got to be Azle, Texas. But I know she'd love to have you stop in if you have questions, if you need help.
Yes.
Stop in. If it's easier to come shop in a store and let someone know you need help, this is the place to come.
We
So,
actually had a lady come in today shopping. She was shopping for her mom for her birthday, and that she'd never been in. And so her sister was with her, and I said, "Well, let me tell you a little about what we do." And the sister said she just left this morning,
oh my
and
gosh.
so she'll be back. Uh, she'll be back and get some services. It's really fresh.
Well, I just, like I said, appreciate what you do. Appreciate you guys taking time to watch Sally's story. And if you have any questions, or like I said, you have any kind of support you want to give, feel free to give her a call or stop by. And I know she would appreciate that.
Let me get the phone number.
Oh, the phone number.
Sorry. The office phone number is 817-929-1866, and that is a cell phone, so I carry it with
All right, perfect. Well, thank you guys for taking time to watch this and hope you have a great day. Bye.
me. Bye.